All avoidants are narcissists, right? No, here's why. There is a big difference between attachment styles, that is anxious or avoidant attachment, and narcissistic personality disorder or narcissism. Attachment styles literally refer to how our emotional blueprint has developed, how we relate to others in our close interpersonal relationships. Narcissism is based on a cluster of narcissistic traits. Traits are behavioural patterns that can be seen in any human on Earth. But when we actually look at the research, there are just as many, if not more, anxiously attached individuals who can demonstrate narcissistic behaviour. Now, with some narcissistic trait behaviours, these are things like a lack of empathy, selfishness, entitlement, a constant need for validation. Yes, some insecurely attached individuals can demonstrate this as well. But when we are looking at narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder versus avoidant or anxious attachment styles, one of the key differences is what is someone doing in their constant stable state. If someone truly has narcissistic personality disorder, many of these behavioural traits tend to be quite static in the sense that they are relatively inflexible and they are present across all of their relationship dynamics. However, when we are looking at some of the amplified narcissistic trait behaviours, things like a lower degree of empathy, a little bit of selfishness, in those who have insecure attachment styles, these tend to present themselves more when someone is activated. That is when they have moved out of that regulated frontal lobe controlled state into their survival state. So when the survival state is online, our frontal lobe has relatively disengaged. And the frontal lobe, that's what governs a lot of our emotional centeredness, being empathetic, being able to communicate and think clearly. But when we're in survival mode, it doesn't give a shit about logic. We don't see logic. We don't see empathy. So if someone is only expressing a number of these sort of narcissistic trait behaviors when they are activated, it does not mean that they are a narcissist. It doesn't mean that they have narcissism. It just means that they are in an activated fear-based state. So no, not every avoidant is a narcissist. Not every avoidant attacher has narcissistic personality disorder. Conflating behaviors with psychopathology is actually quite harmful and anti-healing. It doesn't serve anyone. But in saying that, does it excuse activated behaviors that insecurely attached people engage in? That is, anxious and avoidance. No, it does not. We are grown-ass adults. We have a responsibility to understand ourselves, to regulate ourselves, to show up as emotionally healthy individuals. So no, it doesn't excuse behavior if someone is activated, but not every insecurely attached person is a narcissist.